it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be listing all the books I will be reading during the O.W.L Readathon in April this year. For you guys who do not know what the O.W.L Readathon is, I will leave all the original videos in the description box down below that explain it all, but basically it is held by book roasts every year where you pick a career which gives you prompts on what books to read, as well as you can pick extra seminars, I believe, for extra books to read. This is my first year doing it, so I'm really excited and can't wait to share those books with you. So with that said, let's get straight into it. The career I've chosen for this year's O.W.L Readathon is not much of a stretch because I do this for a living, and that is the care of magical children. For this career there are 8 hours that you have to go for. As well, I've also chosen a seminar to do which adds on 3 books, which makes it 11. I'm hoping I can get through all of them. Hopefully with some of these being shorter I can read them all, because usually I can only read 10 in a month, so I'm praying I can get through all these. For these books, I've tried to take them off my TBR and books I haven't read before. There is one I have read before, but that is to try and motivate me to read the whole series, because I have 1 book left in that series, but I kind of need to read the other 2 first before I read it, because it's been a while since I've read them. But besides that one, all of them are off my TBR to try and make a dent in that TBR, hopefully. The hours that I have to do for the careers is herbology, arithmetic, charms, defense against the dark arts, history of magic, muggle studies, potions, and transfiguration. So there are 8. I will read out the prompts so you guys can kind of figure out what prompts there are and what book I have chosen. For herbology, the prompt is a book that starts with M. Now for this one, I know I'm going to enjoy this book, probably, most likely, because I have read the first part of the series, because I'm reading that one currently and really enjoying it. So I'm pretty sure I will enjoy this book, and that is Mixologists and Pirates by Frost K, books 4 to 6. So these are very short stories technically, because it says 4 to 6, so there's 3 in here and it's only like that big, but I'm counting it as 1 book. This one is a sci-fi and fantasy series where she gets taken to an alien planet to help colonize it, and then all this stuff happens, and I absolutely love this main character. She's amazing. She's probably up there with one of my favorite characters of all time. I really like it so far, and I think I will really enjoy this, so I have that one for that one. The next O.W.L, I actually knew I wanted to put this book for this O.W.L for at least a month, because as soon as I saw what colour the cover was, I was like, yep, I'm going to put that one for that one, so I won't read it. And the prompt for this one is a white cover. The one I've chosen for this is Untamed by A.G Howard. This one is a collection of novellas in the Splintered Universe. I have read the trilogy and absolutely loved it. It is up there with one of my favourite series of all time. It is a very dark Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I am interested to see what these novellas will be about, if they add depth to the story or not. I am interested to see, but I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it, and I can't wait to read it. The next O.W.L is arithmetic, which is, the prompt is for you to read outside your favourite genre. My favourite genres are generally fantasy, sci-fi, and contemporary. They're the ones I mainly read, although I've been wanting to read more historical fiction, so I'm thinking to choose a historical fiction one to pick, because I have read one in the past and really liked it, so I'm kind of hoping to pick another one and extend on my reading interest. But I also have romance as another option, because I generally don't read romance, because I don't generally like it. So I guess whichever one I pick up will be the one I read. I have 2 options for this one, which is Outlander and Salt and the Sea. Salt and the Sea is the historical fiction. I believe Outlander is a romance story, but it's also historical fiction, so I'm hoping maybe if I read that one I will enjoy the romance part of it, because it's not just focused on the romance. The next O.W.L is Defense Against the Dark Arts. The prompt for this is a book that is set at the see. For this one, I have chosen one of the books from my loot crates that I keep accumulating because I haven't read them yet, because I have so many books that I've got at the moment that I have not read. And that is All the Stars and Teeth by, where is it? Adalyn Grace. This one I believe is a mermaidish book, and it looks absolutely, yeah, it says Princess, Pirate, Stowaway, Mermaid. The crew makes the queen. That's the tagline on the back, so that sounds really interesting. I believe it has a lot of political intrigue in this one. I'm not sure. I really love the cover. I'm really hoping it's an amazing story because mermaid stories are very, very rare, and I'm hoping to find some more because they are awesome. And the next Owl is History of Magic. This prompt is a story around a witch or wizard. Now, I know what you're thinking. An easy pick for this one would be Harry Potter, because it basically follows a wizard throughout the whole books. But I am trying not to pick books I have not read, although technically the one on this list is one I've read, but as I said before, it's to try and motivate me to read the rest of that trilogy. There's two options for this one. One is a reread and one is a new one. The new one is the Howl's Moving Castle, and I watched the movie when I was really little and I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping the graphic novel will be just as good. And the reread is The Bone Witch by Wynne. I think that's how you say her name. I really loved this book when I read it. It is a very, very dark fantasy, and I loved it so much. There is so much depth to this story. I'm hoping to read this so then I can get myself on track to read this trilogy, because I've read the first two but never got around to reading the third one. So I'm hoping this will motivate me to read the rest of the series. Next out is Muggle Studies, which is basically a contemporary, and I have two options for this. I have both of them, so it just depends on what I decide on. The first option is Wayward Son by Rowell. I started it but then left it at my friend's house and then never got around to finishing it because I got it like a month later because things happen and get in the way. So I never got around to finishing it. I got, I think, like 100 pages into it and never finished it. I really enjoyed the first one because this one is the sequel. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this one as much, but we shall see. And the other one is Speak by Laurie, Halse, Anderson. This one is actually the graphic novel edition. I saw it in the bookshop and could not resist, basically. And I thought it would be a really interesting way to read this contemporary, especially because it's such a dark contemporary, and I'm really interested to see how it goes with dealing with those issues. The next out is The Potions, which is, the prompt is a book under, or a graphic novel, under 150 pages. For this one, I have chosen Lock and Key number 2 because I've already read the first one and want to continue with the series because I love the first one so much. It is definitely a very, very dark graphic novel, but as you can tell by the theme of this TBR, I love my dark books, so I'm hoping to enjoy it as much as the first one. And the last owl for my career is Transfiguration, and the prompt for this is a shapeshifter, so a book that has a shapeshifter in it. For this one, I have chosen Sirangel by Lucia. This one sounds really, really unique. It also is a kind of mermaid one too, but I want to have it for this one. It is basically following a hybrid shapeshifter, which is really interesting, half siren and half angel, which is something I've never heard of before. So kind of interested to see how this one goes, and I love the cover. It's so pretty. So I'm interested to see if this will be any good or not. Now for the semi-R, which I have chosen, for the semi-R, it adds 3 books onto my list, and I chose the Anime Guest Training because that would be awesome. And it also added 3 books because I needed at least 2, so to make 10. They are repeats of some of the owls I've already chosen, but I'm choosing new books. The first owl for the Anime Guest Training is Arithmancy. I cannot say that word for the life of me. The prompt was the complete opposite to what you normally read, and again I have 2 options for this. The Prisoner of Night and Fog, which is a historical fiction, and the Kiss Quotient, which is the romance. So for, I believe The Prisoner of Night and Fog is a set in World War II and it follows Hitler's daughter, and I'm pretty sure the Kiss Quotient is following the main character who is autistic and tries to solve love from memory. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I probably will be leaning towards the historical fiction because, as I said before, romances are probably really down low on my list, but I might be brave and try it, but we shall see. The second owl for the semi-R is Potions, which is the one where it's under 150 pages. So I chose a comic because generally those are under 150 pages, and I decided to go with Saga #1 because that is another comic or graphic novel that I really want to read. So this is the perfect opportunity to basically see what that's like. The last hour for the semi-R is Transfiguration, which was the Shifter book, I should say, and for that one I chose Magical Creatures Academy, which says Night Shifter, so I'm assuming it has shifters in it. I haven't read anything by it, and it's also by Lucia. I'm assuming she writes a lot of shifter books because this is also another series about shifters. So I'm intrigued to see if I like this. It could be risky having two books of the same author and not liking one, which means I would have to read the other or find another book. So we shall see if I like her. Hopefully I do. I'm interested to see if I like this, and these covers are beautiful, so I really hope I like it. Alright guys, that is it for my O.W.L Readathon TBR. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are participating in this year's TBR and what careers you've chosen. As I said, I will leave all the original videos explaining this readathon in the description box down below, as well as all my social media. But until next time guys, see ya!